Okay, one other important thing to actually take note of would be your trend lines. Okay, so trend lines is also another crucial aspect of trading, whereby it allows you to actually project price into the future, whereby you can think, okay, you know what, price is actually going to go there in the future. You can actually quote unquote predict the near future or where price is going to go. So how do you exactly draw a trend line? Very simple. It's whereby you connect two or more lows or two or more highs. And that's where it gives you a line, and that is your trend line projected into the future. So ideally, all these traders, or rather all the traders that use trend lines, they can actually accurately predict where price is going to go to a certain extent in the future. So there are two ways to actually trade the trend line. So number one would be the bounce, similar to the key resistance, to the key levels earlier on. And number two would be the break retest continuation. So these two strategies that is used in the key levels can also be used on the trading of trend lines. So right here you can see is the example of the trend line, whereby you actually implemented the bounce strategy on the trend line. So over here you can see it's an uptrend, whereby you can connect two or more highs together. So once you connect them, you then form this trend line, and you can see that price actually respected the trend line and actually move in a way where the trend line is moving in the long run. Okay, so what you can see here is the bounce strategy is actually implemented on the trend line, whereby every single time price touches the trend line, it actually bounced off it. So at point number one, you can actually choose to long. Point number two, you can choose to long. Point number three, you also can choose to long. So this is the trend line. You can actually choose to trade the bottom of a trend line for an uptrend trend line. So the second example will be a downtrend trend line, whereby you connect two or more lows together, and you then be projected in the future and to see that price actually respected the trend line and actually move according to where the trend line wants them to move. Okay, so same thing here. The bounce strategy was also implemented, and you can see that each and every time price touches the trend line, right? Number one, number two, price actually bounced off it, and every time you can open a sell at number one or number two. So these are the different strategies to actually trade off the trend line. And this, the power of a trend line, can basically predict the near future for where price is going to go. Okay, so I've covered the bounce strategy of the trend line. So next will be the break retest continuation of the trading of a trend line. So what you see here before you is actually a live chart, or rather a chart on TradingView, which is your USD CHF on the 4-hour time frame. So the thing about this example is when this downtrend trend line was plotted, right, you could only see this left right over here. So what we did was we connected all the lower lows, these 3 pointers here, and we connect them, and we then drew the trend line according to them. So once we drew the trend line, you can see that, okay, you know what? We think that price is going to respect this trend line in the near future. So whenever price touches the downtrend trend line, we're going to open a sell position. And true enough, price actually touched the trend line 1, 2, and 3. It touched the trend line 3 times, and every single time price actually touched the downtrend trend line, it actually bounced off it. So every single time, these 3 times, we're able to make a profit from it. So this is the power of the trend line. But of course, how do you exactly trade the break retest continuation of a trend line? So what you can see here, okay, let me erase this away. So what you can actually see here, price actually tested the trend line and broke through it right over here. It caused a break. So this is number one, the break. Okay, it caused the break through the trend line and then proceeds to retest the trend line right over here. Number two. Okay, number two, the retest. So after retesting, price then continued on to the original intended direction, which is the break, which is the appreciation of the US dollar against the Swiss franc. So it then continued on outwards, and this is your continuation, which is your number 3. So this is how you can actually trade the break retest continuation of a trend line, whereby once the trend line is broken, what it can be commonly perceived of is, okay, you know what, it was a downtrend, and there's a break of the downtrend trend line. So this means that most likely an uptrend is upcoming, because if it's still a downtrend, it most likely bounced off the trend line, the downtrend trend line. But since the downtrend trend line was not respected and it was broken through, most likely an uptrend is coming. So that's where break retest continuation can be used to trade for the reversal of trends as well for trend line trading. So these are the things you need to take note for trend lines. So trend lines is a very, very powerful tool. Okay, number one, help you project where price is going to go in the near future, and number two, can also help you predict, right, when reversal of trend is actually going to happen. So these are the power of trend lines.
for checking out this section. I really hope you enjoyed our content so far. So my team and I took hours and spent quite a bit of money settling this whole thing up. So number one, we hope that you gain some value from this. Number two, that if you have a friend that's interested in trading, you could drop them the link and share this free resource with them.